All right, guys, welcome to my conversation with your 6A, Alabama 6A, 132-pound state champion from Wetumpka, Noah Smith. Noah, first, congratulations. And how does that sound?
Sounds great. Sounds great. Love
All
it.
right. You still pitch yourself a little bit and try to that you want to state title?
Yeah, definitely. It's like it's always been a goal since I was a little kid, and the process. It still hasn't processed to this day. So
I got you. All right. So before we get into talking about your run to a state title and everything else, let's go off the mat a little bit and talk about a couple things. Cool?
cool.
All right. All right. So let's start with just yes or no's or just this or that. Cookies or brownies?
Uh, cookies.
Cookies. What kind of cookies?
Cookies. Uh, I like Oreos, but if they were baked, I'd have to say probably like the white chocolate chip. I love white chocolate chip cookies.
All right. What flavor of ice cream?
Oh, okay. So Haagen-Dazs has this caramel cone ice cream, and it's probably my favorite. My favorite.
Caramel cone ice cream. All
There's like
right.
little bits of like chocolate covered waffle cones in there with caramel. It's delicious.
Were you cutting weight this year to make weight?
A little bit, a little
A
bit.
little bit. Is that one of the
Yeah.
things that you had to deny yourself a little bit of while you're during season, or did you still eat it?
Absolute not. No, I still ate it.
You still
After every tournament I'd get a pint or two.
is that right? And you'd eat it,
Yeah.
and then you go right back to trying to make weight again.
Yup. Every week. Wash, rinse, and repeat every week.
That's so funny. All right, so um, what is the best breakfast food?
Pancakes. I'd have to say
Pancakes.
pancakes.
All
Chocolate
right,
chip pancakes.
chocolate chip pancakes. All right, do you smother it in syrup or no?
I smother it in syrup for
Okay.
sure.
All right. Do you listen to music during the warm up?
Yeah, yeah.
What are we listening to?
It's a mix, but I usually like to listen to Babytron. Sometimes I throw a little Maroon 5 in there just for like the diversity. And that's about it. Babytron and Maroon 5.
All right, all right. So if I gave you a choice between having a time machine or a magic wand, which one are you taking?
Uh, probably the time machine.
Probably the time
Time
machine.
machine.
And
Uh,
if you stepped in the time machine, are you going to the future or are you going back to the past?
to the future, for sure the future. I just want to see how things play out with like college and just life after that. I want to see where I end up.
Okay. All right, I got you. All right. So if you were given an opportunity to go to space, would you go to space?
Nah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Why not?
Uh, I miss a lot. I miss the video games and the friends and the TV and like the actual good food.
Yeah, because it's like all in a bag or whatever, right?
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
do that. I couldn't do it.
All right. So before we get back on the mat, the last question I have off the mat is do you have a talent off the mat that people who are on the wrestling team or your coaches or whatever don't know about?
Nope. I'm just I wouldn't say a talent, but I'm just pretty goofy and pretty funny. That's probably about it.
Okay.
Probably the
All
only thing I
right.
can say.
Stand up in the future.
Maybe. We'll have to see. If college doesn't work out, then yeah, I'll have to go to stand up.
All right. So let's take us back in time to when you started wrestling. I want to know how you started, what age you started, what it was like. What was the experience like for Noah 100, like however long ago?
Okay, so I started wrestling when I was 4,
Okay.
and I originally started because I grew up in New Jersey, so my pop that I would hang out with like all the time, me and him loved to watch WWE. So I remember one day I'm in the living room with my mom, my pop and my grandma, and pop asked me, he's like, "Do you want to wrestle?" And of course, I thought it was WWE, so I'm all in. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go, let's do it." and then I find out it's this wrestling, and I stuck with it ever since.
Were you disappointed when you found out it wasn't the WWE?
A little bit. I thought there were gonna be like turnbuckles and ropes I could jump off, but it's not what it was.
So, what was that first like practice, first experience like? Do you remember back then?
Yeah, a little bit. I remember my aunt took me to my first practice. Um, it was a lot different. It was actually pretty scary because there were a lot of people in there, and I didn't expect it to be like that. So it's
Okay.
pretty interesting.
Okay. So what is if we looked at Noah when he was 4, 5, 6 years old wrestling, and now today, what has changed the most about you and wrestling?
Nothing much. I'd still be the same goofy guy with the same like sporadic style. You know, nothing much has changed. I've
Nothing much
kind of
is
wrestled the same. Nothing much.
okay. All right. All right. So you are a leader at Wetumpka, and you've been around some great wrestlers. I think of Chad. You were teammates with
Yeah,
Chad, and you got Willie on the team, and you got lots of different people. But you also have like every program, you have new wrestlers that come in that don't know anything about wrestling. They're even starting when they're freshmen in high school. What
yeah.
advice do you kind of give them?
Just don't take it too serious. You just gotta. You're doing this for fun. You're not doing this to go out there and, eventually win a world title. We're in high school. Let's just go out there, have fun, score points. That's what I tell everybody. I tell them for every match, I tell them go out there, have fun, score points, and let's get out of here.
All right. All right. Okay. Before we get into the actual year or the last couple of years, who's the who's the best person that you ever kind of rolled with? It doesn't have to be a match, but just somebody you were like, ooh, wow, there's a whole other level.
Uh, Probably Isaiah Poe. I've rolled with him at Warrior a couple times. He's a great wrestler.
He is legit, and he's getting ready to wrestle here, come up into the NCAA Division One championship. So
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. It's my
ab-
guy.
absolutely, I'm rooting for him as well. All right, so let's go to a couple years ago, state placer. Last year, you got injured in was it a state duels?
Yeah, it's state duels.
State duels, and you missed the postseason as a result of getting injured. Um, what was what was that process of one being injured and two kind of coming back from that?
It definitely put it was definitely a big, roadblock to what I wanted that year. Talking it up to be a state finalist and, hopefully win a state title that year. But, it sucked that I missed it, but it's just I don't know. It was just one of those things where it doesn't hold you back, but it definitely gives you a greater appreciation for like the sport and what's around you because you can lose it in a quick 3 seconds from somebody doing a move wrong or getting hurt, and it just made me appreciate what I have at the with the sport. Definitely made me appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, coming back and coming back from that because you did get injured while you were wrestling, was there any apprehension, any like you were nervous about getting back on the mat, or were you just no, I'm ready to go when I'm healthy?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to get out there a lot earlier than I wanted to, but doctor's orders and coaches sticking to it, keeping me healthy. I was really excited to get back on the mat, but you know, it just didn't really happen. So I was like, we'll see it next year.
So you had to bide your time. Yeah, because I think there was some
Yeah.
discussion of will Noah be back? Will he not be back in time and that sort of thing. But ended up missing it and missing the state tournament last year. How much more did you feel more pressure coming in because this was going to be your last year to make a run?
Yeah, I've definitely felt more pressure this year, you know. Especially from like coaches and teammates, they're all like, this kid's gonna win a state title. And it's just like it's just me versus me out there. I always know I can beat anybody in the state of Alabama in my weight. So it's just, just to think about the pressure on it. I just get in my head a little bit too much and think too much about matches, but I just trusted myself and got the job done.
Yeah, and you did, but not without um uh, in the quarterfinals you had a little bit of a close
It was a
match.
hiccup. It was definitely a hiccup. But so actually the kid I wrestled, he's one of my good friends. He goes to Warrior too, so it's like it was, we kind of knew what we were gonna do. I heard his coaches say, "Watch this," and I was like, "Oh man." So it was a hiccup, and I didn't eat the right things, but I don't want to make excuses. It's just, he's a good kid. He's a good opponent, great opponent.
Yeah, well, and you got by it, but it did come down to the third period. You
It
needed a
did. It was,
takedown.
yeah.
But you got it done, and that was good. And then and then I mean, I'm not gonna say you cruised because you had tough matches from that point forward, but it seemed like you were ready then to win a state title. It just kind of seemed that way.
Yeah, definitely definitely my semifinals match. I had a good warm up. Shout out Demarcus Poe. We really got it going before the semifinal round, and I was really determined. I was like just one more match away, so I was like, give it everything I got. This one right here, let's get through it.
So you finish, you get your hand raised. How'd you feel? Like what was the feeling that you had?
I was kind of hyped. I was like, as I look at my coach and I hold up the one is one more, telling him one more, getting ready to have a good night's sleep. I was really excited for the next day.
Okay. And the next day walking in, nerves or not really?
Definitely nerves. It was definitely nerve wracking. It was because I wrestled that kid twice already. We're tied 1-1 so far, and I'm I'm really not trying to get wrapped up in the environment of state finals. Like, yeah, there's an announcer. He's saying your name, where you're from, how many wins you got. And then you have like all the fans cheering. You got your parents there, friends, your girlfriend, all that, and it's just you know it's kind of nerve wracking. You don't want to be the guy who loses in the state finals. So
No, that's gotta be really, really tough. But that didn't
yeah,
happen. I mean,
yeah, really fortunate it didn't happen. I was
so you got the win and what was like, was there a sense of whew, like like relief, or was there enthusiasm? What was the feeling that came out?
extreme enthusiasm. I went up to my coaches, hugged both my coaches, and I was just really happy because I talked about it last year. I said, you know what, I missed it. I'm gonna get it next year, and I did it. I was excited. I kind of got a little mix of both, like the woof, and then the let's go, we did it type of feeling.
That's cool.
On both of those.
That's cool. So what is next up for Noah Smith?
Um, well, we're looking at Virginia Beach, hoping to get that natty title or AA. So looking
Hmm.
for the one of those. And then college.
And college at Montevallo, that's right.
Yeah, yes, sir. Montevallo.
All right. So what was it about Montevallo that stuck with you?
Uh, so one of my good friends is already there. That was like a puller. So that was like a drawn in. But mostly the campus is nice. It's a great school. The coaches, I'm really close with both the coaches. Daniel Umby's, we share some interests in like comic stuff and video game stuff. I remember day of my second visit, we had like a 45-minute talk about Batman and video games.
Oh,
So that was
really?
that was
Okay.
also yeah, that was also a good let's go here. It's just a great environment to be in, and I can really see myself succeed in that area, and I'd love to be there. So
All right. Well, and you will. And so the last question I have for you is something I'm asking every single person that I talk to, and that is why wrestling? What is special about the sport to you?
um wrestling is it helps me break out and be myself. In the class in school I'm like one of the quiet kids. It doesn't talk, just does his work, but on the wrestling mat, I'm one of the more louder kids. I'm really goofy out there. I feel like I can just show who I am as a person on the mat, and it just makes me feel better about myself. Going out there after a tough practice, getting beat up, being sweaty, makes me feel good. So wrestling just makes me feel good.
That's awesome. Well, Noah, congratulations on a run to a state title. Best of luck at Montevallo and into the future, no matter kind of how that path kind of leads you or whatever. And yeah, congratulations again, man.
Thank you.